Imagine a city rising from the sands of Egypt, not shaped by centuries of river flow, but by human hands redirecting the Nile itself. This is Jirian, Egypt's ambitious new vision for life in the desert. Expected to create thousands of jobs and welcome millions of new residents, it is Egypt's boldest urban development project yet. But is this project a good idea in times this tough? Jirian's bold vision has sparked serious questions about water, sky-high costs, and whether Egypt can afford a city this grand in its current situation. Welcome to Construct, and this is Egypt's controversial new desert city. Before we talk about Jirian, we need to talk about the current president of Egypt, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. In July 2013, Egypt experienced a dramatic shift in power that would reshape its political landscape. The country's first democratically elected president, Mohamed Morsi, was removed from office by the military after just 1 year in power. This event, widely recognized as a military coup, was led by then General Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, who would later become president himself. The coup came after weeks of massive protests across Egypt. Millions of Egyptians took to the streets, accusing Morsi and his party, the Muslim Brotherhood, of trying to monopolize power and failing to address the country's economic problems. The military issued a 48-hour ultimatum for Morsi to resolve the crisis. When he refused to step down, the army intervened, suspended the constitution, and installed an interim government. What followed was a sweeping crackdown on the Muslim Brotherhood. Thousands of its members were arrested, including Morsi, who was later sentenced to prison and died in court in 2019. In August 2013, the Egyptian security forces carried out a violent dispersal of pro-Morsi sit-ins in Cairo's Rabaa al-Adawiya Square, killing over 1,000 people in what became known as the Rabaa Massacre. Human Rights Watch described it as one of the largest mass killings of protesters in a single day in modern history. The military-backed government also shut down pro-Brotherhood media outlets and clamped down on dissent. Journalists, activists, and opposition figures were arrested or silenced. In 2014, Sisi ran for president and won with over 96% of the vote, cementing his control over the country. Since then, he has tightened his grip on power, overseeing constitutional changes that allow him to remain in office until at least 2030. Economically, the post-coup years have been marked by soaring foreign debt, rising poverty, and inflation. Egypt's external debt has quadrupled since 2010, reaching over $155 billion. Inflation hit 16.8% in May, and even the price of basic bread, something most Egyptians rely on, has tripled. As for poverty, it's climbed to over 35%. While the government has invested heavily in megaprojects like the new administrative capital and Jirian, many Egyptians are struggling with a cost of living crisis. Basic goods have become more expensive, and over a third of the population now lives below the poverty line. The military's role in the economy has also expanded significantly. Army-linked companies now dominate sectors like construction, food production, and infrastructure, blurring the lines between governance and business. Critics argue that this concentration of power has stifled competition and deepened inequality. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has made megaprojects the centerpiece of his strategy to revive and modernize Egypt's economy. These large-scale initiatives are designed to create jobs, attract investment, and improve infrastructure across the country. While they've drawn both praise and criticism, Sisi argues they are essential for building what he calls a modern Egyptian state. One of the most prominent examples is the new Suez Canal, a $8.6 billion expansion completed in 2015. Financed entirely by Egyptians through investment certificates, the project doubled the canal's capacity and reduced waiting times for ships. It also laid the foundation for the Suez Canal Economic Zone, a 461 square kilometer area with 6 new ports and industrial hubs aimed at connecting Egypt to global trade routes. This zone is expected to support 1 million jobs and serve 2 million residents. Sisi has also launched a wave of new cities, including the new administrative capital, New Alamein, as well as Jirian. These cities are designed to ease overcrowding in Cairo, expand urban space, and offer modern housing, business districts, and smart infrastructure. The new administrative capital alone is estimated to cost $58 billion and is being built to house government ministries, foreign embassies, and millions of residents. In Sinai, the government committed over $5 billion to development, including the construction of schools, hospitals, and infrastructure to improve both security and economic opportunity. Meanwhile, in the energy sector, Egypt has invested in massive power plants and water treatment facilities, such as the Bahr el Bikar plant, the largest agricultural wastewater treatment facility in the world. Sisi defends these projects as necessary despite Egypt's economic hardships. In a 2024 speech, he acknowledged the pain caused by inflation and currency shortages but insisted that halting megaprojects would mean shutting down jobs for millions of Egyptians. He said, "Even if it's expensive, we are living. If we can bear with it, we will grow and we will overcome this problem." These projects are said to create jobs, fix long-standing infrastructure problems, and help position Egypt as a regional hub for trade and investment. However, questions of sustainability of this approach, especially given Egypt's rising debt and the strain on public services, is also present. Now let's talk about Jirian. Jirian is Egypt's bold new vision for urban development, an entire city rising from the desert. The city is strategically located along the Sheikh Zayed axis in 6th of October City, just west of Cairo. It is expected to be 1,680 acres and allows for a wide range of developments, including residential neighborhoods, commercial zones, eco-friendly hotels, cultural centers, and even a yacht marina. The scale of Jirian reflects its ambition, not just to house millions, but to serve as a new urban and economic hub in the Egyptian desert. The name Jirian means flow in Arabic, a nod to its most striking feature, a man-made channel of the Nile River that will wind through the city's heart. The Nile River is set to play a central and controversial role in the development of Jirian. Unlike traditional cities that grow around natural water sources, Jirian will rely on a man-made channel that redirects water from the Nile deep into the desert. According to developers, around 10 million cubic meters of Nile water will be rerouted every day to supply Jirian. This water will not only support the city's residential and commercial zones, but also irrigate the massive New Delta agricultural project, which aims to reclaim over 2.28 million acres of desert land. This project is rooted in the country's urgent need to secure its food supply, modernize farming, and adapt to a changing climate. At the heart of this vision is the transformation of 2.28 million acres of desert land west of the traditional Nile Delta into productive farmland. This reclaimed land is expected to grow essential crops like wheat, corn, and other staples that Egypt currently imports in large quantities. The project involves diverting about 7% of Egypt's annual Nile water quota, a move that has raised eyebrows both domestically and internationally. In a country where 97% of freshwater comes from the Nile and water scarcity is already a serious problem, diverting more water to Jirian could place even greater pressure on Egypt's most vital resource. The project is described as a bold, innovative solution to Egypt's urban and agricultural challenges. Prime Minister Mustafa Matboli described Jirian as part of a push for non-traditional, innovative ideas to drive economic growth and raise the value of state-owned land. Jirian is expected to house up to 3 million families and create around 250,000 jobs. These jobs will come from construction, infrastructure development, and the artificial Nile Channel will require a large workforce. Because Jirian is part of the larger New Delta agricultural project, many jobs will also be tied to farming, irrigation, food processing, and logistics. It's being pitched as a full-spectrum development, with everything from 80-story skyscrapers and international universities to eco-friendly hotels and cultural hubs. Developers say it will also lie just minutes from the Grand Egyptian Museum and the Giza Pyramids, making it a potential magnet for tourism and investment. Jirian is expected to take 5 years to complete. What do you think of Jirian? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.